all the way to his Yahweh Shai, man.
Precept. This is a quick one, Sirach 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
So that's the reason, because there's still wickedness in those places. Or because Israel, were taken over by by the heathen, by other nations, don't make them righteous. It's just because wickedness exists where these kingdoms get translated, man. And we're waiting for that righteous rulership, man, with Yahweh Shai. That's what we're waiting for.
Right.
Yeah,
the
I've got a quick one.
This is Proverbs 12 and 3. A man shall not be established by wickedness.
That's right. So a kingdom can't be established by wickedness. A man can't be established by wickedness. Because the Most High ain't with that man.
And it's even as cold as even America. It's like putting a signpost on another man's land. That's wickedness. America ain't even called America. Yet, what's everyone calling it to this day? The United States. The US of A.
Changed the names.
From that alone, even before they went there and they massacred Jake that was over there, robbed resources, all that good stuff.
From the brother Psalms 49 and 11, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names.
Yeah. So that colonization, taking over different man's lands and literally going over there to slaughter man's, unrighteously.
Yeah, how you gonna call a man? Man went to India, named it savages. Just savage, you East Indians, the Eastern savages. And that's still the country, that's in the UN, that should be getting used. That's fucked up.
And now they're doing the same thing. I forgot the scripture. Basically, one scripture says the thief cometh not but to steal and to kill. And then you got the other one where they're going into everybody else's land. And it doesn't belong to them, man. Alright, they're going and taking all the resources. I believe that might be it. They're stealing all the resources and everything else. And they now, what they do is they basically try to manipulate the public to justify it.
To see it their way.
Yeah, because they were headlong before anyway. They were just like, we're going to murder these people, we're going to take their land, fuck it, we deserve it. But now they can't move like that. They're using more subtlety to achieve their goals.
Everyone's woken up to Esau's wickedness.
Bombing oil plants.
Because you go back to when it was the Arab Spring, when Egypt and Libya and all them were having them so-called uprisings. What happened, man? Libya, they murked up, they did the most unrighteous killing. There weren't no international court, no nothing. They came in, some random soldiers fucked up Gaddafi. Then you just saw that oil pipeline got hooked up to France right quick. The oil got sold off swift. I'm like, and it's just like everyone's waking up. Because even you go back to fucking, what was it, Iraq, when it was fucking, what's his name, man? Dave Chappelle, when he did Black Bush skit, and he did so he said, so Mr. President, what was it about the war in Iraq and oil? And it was like, oil? What you cooking, bitch? He dashed the drink and ran off, man. That's because everyone knows. Everyone was already like, these men are going there. It's about resources. Ain't about no righteousness. And the thing is even imagine like 15, 18 years down the line, they say, it's Saudi Arabia was actually the guys that were funding 9/11. So it's like, even by your own bullshit you're putting out there, you just had the most legendarily illegal war ever. A whole country just got raped.
You still don't care about your safety. You don't care about your lifestyles or your ruler is horrible. He's the one that put him there. He's been paying these guys to rule the nation in the first place, and then when he wants to get rid of them, he gets rid of them. Yeah. That's what it is. You don't care about how your lives are.
You have them pictures of Tony Blair with Bin Laden.
Yeah, and all friends. Man, Deputy son supposedly. Another son.
And then there was Gaddafi with, or maybe it was Gaddafi with.
Gaddafi's sons were studying in London.
All
that kind of stuff. He got assets here in London and stuff.
The cleanest, high-end London lifestyle. Same for Saddam Hussein as well. All these guys, it's like all of a sudden they're completely juiced into the system.
You know what I'm saying? They're all part of the same system, man. But like I said, when Esau wants to get rid of you, man, who gets rid of you? Yeah. They're all really betrayed because they put those people up in power in the first place to do those things that they're doing to their own people. For better or for worse or whatever. But Esau knows what the deal is. He don't care about the people. Never has done. Just what you can give him.
Going back into, continue on with Luke 17, it says, verse 28, likewise also as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, there rained. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed.
It's spiritual that we're actually talking about this topic over here, right? Because I'm not sure if you just saw, there was two Edomites who came past, innit? With one with the shades up in his head. So that guy's a chef that I used to work with, right? And he told me an account where when he went to Brazil and fucked a tranny, he actually said, you know, she had some great big tits but her dick and all of that. And that's the spirit we're talking about, this subject. And he walked past the cameras now, man. And he actually popped a tranny in Brazil, man.
Yeah, I need to.
Them Edomites just walked past, and he's all walking like that. And he was a proud motherfucker as well. He banged the tranny, man. He said the tranny, he gave him head in the wank, man. Continue, man.
Like Malik Yoba, innit?
I don't know what that is.
Like Genesis said, man, the earth was corrupt, innit? The earth is corrupt. And it's corrupt now.
Ain't even nothing I can add to
I used
that.
to work with that.
That's just too much.
I used to work with him,
That's
He'd
messy.
already brought the judgment for Sodom.
Precept, Sirach 39 and 29. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance.
Right? And again, it's not only word today as well. You know, that's what it is, man. Because this is the way the Most High judges the wicked, man. You know, and like I said, Most High's ultimate judgment is those nuclear missiles, man. Okay, that's the end game for America. America's gonna be destroyed by nuclear missiles for all the wickedness that goes on there, and all the blood that's been shed over our people.
There's gonna be some cold judgment.
Hey man, look at this. Abortion Barbie.
That's fucked up.
Look at this shit, man.
I don't know, but that's fucked up.
Abortion Barbie. NYC's Black Genocide.
Who knows? It's hard to believe everything you see now on the internet, man.
Yeah.
But you know, this place is fucked up because regardless of the actual thing, that shit's going on.
That shit's going on,
isn't it?
Real bullshit. I was gonna say,
Fuck this place.
what do you call it? No, it's like famine. Famine's something people underestimate. People sleep on famine. Because right now, you know, you go to Tesco, the shelves are stacked.
Selection.
You got the full selection. You know, if you want the, you know, if you want the righteous meats or the heathen meats, you got the full scope, man. You want the righteous fish or the heathen fish, it's all there. But then when famine comes, and famine can come easy, because even like, what is it now? Cuba's getting the squeeze because the US puts fresh sanctions on them, so they're struggling to get fuel into the country. And then once the fuel stays cut, then it gets up. How are you gonna get food? How are you gonna get food to different places? How many people now, bro? How many times you got a town? There's a big field of wheat in the back of in London especially, ain't no fields of wheat nowhere. You ain't getting all the food's driven in. Once you get a shortage on fuel, you're fucked, mate.
What's what you're saying?
You just had the attack on the Iranians? Saudi Arabia's oil. You know, that's like what they counted up 5% of the daily global oil production in the world.
That's right. But I was about to say why oil is such a big asset. Why it's always oil and always these types of things, man. Because like I said, you cut a nation's oil supply off, man. You're cutting off transport, you're cutting off food, you're cutting off all things.
Yeah.
It's not we're not riding horses no more. Where your staple might have been hay and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, we ain't.
No one's worried about hay.
Ain't no Flintstones where you drive in the car with your feet.
Yeah, but because everything's moved by fuel, you know, that's an important asset to nations, man. And if you ain't got that, man, you're dying. One of your main arteries been cut off, man. You're fucked. You're getting fucked up.
I have a precept. This is 2nd Ezra 6 and 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall be suddenly found empty.
Venezuela. You know, Venezuela see all that, man.
Them men are eating.
We're struggling.
And it's funny because Cuba gets all their oil from Venezuela. That was like the only 60% of oil for the country they get from Venezuela. Venezuela's been fucked. And it's like the US is putting a squeeze on extra hard because they're trying to get Guaido in there. Guaido, you know, Quaid up in there. But hey, that's you know, and that's how it goes down. Everything was good. Everything blessed in Venezuela. I know a girl that used to be a journalist there. She was telling me it's fuck, man. She had to flee the scene to England, man, because she was getting too excited, man.
Yeah, as well, you got hyperinflation, you know?
Yeah.
You know, like crazy, like 1,000%. Like, bro,
can't afford it.
Yeah.
like that's what happened in Nazi Germany.
Nazi Germany, Zimbabwe, that trillion. I remember on the news just seeing like, a loaf of bread for $1 million Zimbabwean dollars.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the? And you see in the notes, it's just zeros and zeros on zeros. And once it gets reached out, who the fuck's got millionaires ain't even in the country no more, man. Them guys they're gonna be in Iceland or some shit. Just like, oh, tragic.
No, but I was saying with these nations, man, like Venezuela and that, man, it's not because the United States or these Edomites are fucking with them. And they've been fucking with them for a long time, man. You know, even when there was Hugo Chavez in power, man, they were fucking with Hugo the whole time. But he managed to keep shit together. You know, but now, you know, when you got a turn of, you know, new presidents and that kind of stuff, man, they see it as opportunity, man. So ever since the new guy has been in power, okay, they've been getting deeper and deeper in. And fucking up, you know, starting all these protests and shit.
Well, it's because they know it's back in the what you call it? What the fuck was it called, man? The Cuban Missile Crisis. Back then, from then America knows, yo, they gotta watch them South American countries. They could just be trying to, you know, conspiring with the enemy.
Yeah.
So now they're trying to centralize, get that control back over them, and that results in them getting fucked. And then, hey, everything, you know, it gets messy because the citizens are just collateral damage. You can't eat. They don't give a fuck. They want the government to roll over and do what they want.
So like I said, this is all just down to the wickedness of the United States, man. You know, I just wanted to read this quickly. This is Isaiah 14:6. So he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. Okay, he don't let up on these nations, man. He's sectioned into the high fucking hell, man, and they're all fucking dying.
Even Iran, it was the same thing. That's the reason why Iran's been getting so antsy with the
Because
US.
they're having to do it.
They're literally getting sanctions so their economy can't run.
Oh yeah, what the US just put the heaviest sanctions on Iran ever.
Their banking system.
Yeah.
They're saying Iran was involved in the attacks on the Saudi Arabian oil processing plant. Whatever.
Even though the Saudis are not explicitly saying it was them.
Right.
They don't think
it's some from Yemen, but they got Iranian weapons. It must be the Iranians.
The Iranian weapons, therefore.
But how many US weapons kill people?
Exactly. I'm sure you go into the protests right now in Hong Kong. I'm sure they're using some American supplied shit over there, man. Some flashbangs or tear gas, whatever.
What are the Taliban's with AK-47s?
Yeah, is that Russia?
No,
that's how stupid it is. But the thing is that they don't even care.
Iran has to be the guy.
That's how corrupt Esau is, man. Yeah, it don't even come down to you ain't even doing nothing. You just chilling there eating the Snickers bar. This nigga invaded you, man.
Yeah.
He's saying, what? You put that Snickers wrapper in my country?
Yeah, but that's why the scripture says in Matthew 24th chapter about rumors of wars, man.
Yep, that's right.
Rumors, because it's just rumored that they did it. You know, there's no evidence to sustain this information. It's just a rumor.
But they'll make it more and more believable. They'll convince the public they need to go to war.
Yep.
You know, to defend this and that, defend liberties and all this bullshit. They'll do all that. You know, and then they're gonna find themselves in a position they didn't want to be in, man. Because when that day comes, and they're in the Middle East having that fucking war, guess what? We're all gonna die, man.
That's right.
Most High judgment is in that land, man.
That's
in
right.
that area, the valley of Jehoshaphat, man.
Joel 3.
Yeah, and the funny thing is Yahushua is gonna make an appearance in Babylon, man. You can have your whole armies in the Middle East, then just the invasion comes, man. You're gonna be like Wagwan. Your Star Wars program is gonna be in tatters.
But Esau, because Rome coming back again, you spread thin, you know? You spread thin.
Yeah.
All these garrisons, man.
With the garrisons, the monetary system as well. Because even the money, that's why a big reason why they're trying to prop up Saudi Arabia as well.
Yeah.
Because that's a big part of their control of the petrodollar, man.
The region, yeah.
that petrodollar. What if that petrodollar tanks? Hey, and the thing is other countries done been trying to tank it. That's why Libya got fucked up. China's been trying to put the petrol yuan or whatever the fuck. Other countries trying to do their thing. Russia's been fucking with natural gas because they got like they sell most of the natural gas to Europe.
Yep.
So they've been utilizing that. So it's like Esau's trying to centralize that control.
They're avoiding
in the West.
any lending. Russia's avoiding any lending in the US dollar now.
They're all avoiding.
Yeah, pretty much. all of them, they know.
They want to deal with it
because they know it's going to go to war. Because the thing is, even China owns a shitload of the bonds.
Oh, yeah, the gold reserve.
Yeah, they got control of a lot of the dollar reserves. A lot of the fucking treasury bonds.
I have a preset
for the US.
I got a quick one.
So it's like that's something they can hold over because they can just tank the economy for the US, man.
This is Jeremiah 51 and 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she's not healed. Forsake her. And let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even into the skies, man.
Yeah, so America's through, man.
Through, man.
It's through. There's no coming back. This is your last leg.
Through.
You know? And like I said, there is no coming back for you. There's no after. You know, we read earlier about you believe your houses shall continue forever. No, there's nothing for you after this, man. There's nothing for any other nations after this. Right? All you got is servitude. That's what you got.
Everyone's
Servitude.
gonna have to bend the knee.
You know?
Because that's the thing. It's the main thing is that's that power. Everyone's still looking up to America, regardless of them wanting it to go down. Everyone is still doing their earnest best. Because like China could tank America's economy. They don't want it to. Because China, they live good. Everyone's living good off America. That's why even the Arabs, they don't really like Esau, but hey, they got that good life, man. You see Arabs in this country, them guys are completely indulgent, man. Yeah, they're all overweight as fuck. They're all covered in designer brands, spending all their money, fancy cars. Like, you know what? They're living good. Everyone's living good, man. Iran's even upset. They just want their economy to run, man. Iran's where you had them women taking off their headscarves in public, hanging off the headscarves, doing their little protests. Everyone's indoctrinated by the West, man.
Yeah. Oh,
right on the word isn't.
Yeah, the hammer of the earth, man. That's what it is, the hammer of the earth.
Hey, but we're coming more close to the World War III, and we know that through the news, man, and prophecy. I've just done a video on it as well. You had right now Saudi Arabia is getting boosted by US. More soldiers and missile systems and so forth is getting shipped to the Persian Gulf.
Hey, but you should listen to Russia, man. You should buy their system, man.
Yeah, that's what
S-400s, nigga.
Putin said it wouldn't have happened if we bought our shit.
You go, it's funny.
And as well, a fact that we obviously can't ignore is that the reason why this war is going to happen is judgment for all these nations of plaguing us, man.
That's right.
Because America, you know, these Edomites, the Gooks as well. Because if you actually go throughout the scriptures, every nation at some point in time in history has had us, in captivity, especially during the time period of Judges. You know, who's going underneath Moab, all of them. Then you had, even before that was under Egypt. Then after that, you had a statue of Daniel. Every nation's had us, man. You know?
That's why the Lord said He was going to plead for His people. That's right.
Shabbat.
You know, the Valley of Jehoshaphat. You know.
That's right.
Yep. This is Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Everyone's drunk in the wine. Everyone's completely on that Babylon juice, man.
Under the influence, man.
Yeah,
that's it.
DUIs, man. Everyone DUI'd out here.
Inebriation.
But yeah, and that's why it's everything needs to be clean. You need a reset, man. The earth, man. You got some maniacs burning down the Amazon, for whatever purpose. I'm like, nigga, what? I'm like, are you insane? Like, why would you? Is it even worth it? What you gained in political power for burning that shit down? But everything's now is just basically following up that monetary system and the beliefs of the West.
Hey, spiritual, if I can say this. I had found out that, you know the city of Manhattan, the state Manhattan? Mm-hmm. You know what that means? It means the place of inebriation, which literally means intoxication. You know? So that's just a spirit, you know, it's a spiritual, it's a nomen omen.
Bacchus.
You know?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, this is Mark 3 and 26.
That wine, you know?
Yeah.
Because remember, the scripture calls it a great melting pot.
Yep.
You know? It's confusion. You know what it is? Kind of like a big kingdom of gumbo. Just bare shit in a pot, man. with okra. Go ahead.
That slimy shit.
That slimy shit. That's on the bottom. Just a cow foot, a mouse ear, you know, all of that shit.
Bushmeat,
a person, all of that, man. Dog,
The glass
cutter, all of that.
Baconnaise.
Mark 3 and 26. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end. And that's what the brother said, man. Pretty much all these nations have had us in derision. So what the ultimate end of that is, all these nations are gonna fight against each other because we ain't got an army right now, man.
Yeah.
The rest of Jake's lands are all colonized.
Our army's in heaven.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
you know, so all these men ain't even looking at us like, yeah, these guys are gonna stand up. You know, if anything, our people will just be, what do you call it? You know, they just get drafted to war. Yeah. But ultimately, it's just all these other nations versus each other, and that's just Satan divided against himself. And then you're gonna see America and Russia, which are both Edomite nations, they're just gonna end up destroying each other, man. And they have, like the scripture said, they have an end.
And as well, we can't forget the scripture says, "Revenge is mine, saith the Lord, and I shall repay." You know. And guess what? It's like this whole war is gonna play into its purpose perfectly. But before I get into that, it says on the word Manhattan, right? It says the Dutch bought it from the Native Americans and called it New Amsterdam. Then the English took it and changed the name to New York. The name Manhattan comes from the Munsi language of the Lenape, meaning a place of inebriation, right? But if you go into the word inebriation, it means drunkenness or intoxication. You know, there's been a golden cup in the Lord's, hand. And in spiritual, what's that? Manhattan's in New York, right? That's of America, man. Right?
In America itself means bitter, man.
It means bitter.
You know, you're going hand in hand with the Lord's cup. They're gonna have to drink. It's gonna be the drink. They're gonna drink to be bitter, man, because the Lord got destruction ready.
Washington DC.
Washington DC.
No, actually, it's not New York. It's the most like popular city that has made much influence. But the capital of New York is Washington DC because it's part of the Unclean Frogs. You know? Yeah, I'm finishing. Okay.
No.
Luke 21:25.
I checked it up.
And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and waves roaring.
Because that's where they have the.
Yeah, the nations are going to be in perplexity because all these heathen nations on the planet Earth right now, they've all put their trust in America, regardless of of what these nations have wanted to take down America or whatever. They still believe in the power structure. They believe the missiles, the guns, the nukes, the F-16s. That's gonna save it. That's gonna save them in the end. When you go into any of these movies about an alien invasion, an invasion from space, it's always about humanity coming together, and then they fire a nuke at the big alien mothership, and it comes to an end. But hey, that's not gonna work. You're gonna have the nations gonna come together and then get smashed, and it's gonna be amazing.
Brutal.
It says, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things become to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. So that's, all that Esau's putting his power and energy into. He's securing that oil for the sake of his future. But regardless, you're going to get smashed. The Lord, the Son of Man's going to come back with great power. It's going to be a complete flip side of 2,000 years ago. Yahushua came in the flesh. He came with a duty and fulfilled it spectacularly. But now it's the complete opposite. He's come with a completely different set of duties. And it's like that destructive power that you could have harnessed 2,000 years ago is now going to be cranked up to 11 and pointed at America, man, on the whole earth. Every knee's gonna bow, man. Because when Yahushua comes back, right now everyone's bowing to the so-called white man. He's got it good. Everywhere he goes around the earth, he'll be doing his little talks, people sitting there with their notebooks like, clapping whenever he comes. But when Yahushua comes back, you're just gonna have to, you see man get vaporized, you're just gonna have to put your face in the dirt and say, please, mercy. God.
That's how Priest is going to have to wrap up in a minute. So
Revelation 16:15. Behold, I come as a thief. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked, and they see his shame.
Yeah, that's full circle right there, man. We started a lesson like that. Yeah, full circle, man. And I said these people are not watching for that judgment. Okay, people are not considering their wicked ways. Okay, they don't consider the prophets, they don't consider none of this, man. They think life's a big game. Okay, but things will get very, very real, man. And then we were describing about, the judgments, the famines, and all that kind of stuff, the war, okay, the mark of the beast, that's all happening. Yeah. Okay, that is all happening. As the scriptures say, man, it's not an imaginary thing. We're not just imagining it. Yeah, it's actually happening.
Certain parts of the world it's got real already. Certain men are eating the war, certain men have had the economy fucked, certain men have got the chip already. Prophecy's passing. So it's just a matter of wait here. It's going to reach you in a matter of time, man.
Yep.
Everyone likes to forget.
Yep. You got any precepts?
One more one.
Come on.
Isaiah 47:3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. Yes, the Lord is going to come as a whole new different power, man. He's not going to come like he came the last time. He's going to come in his great glory, man. That's right. And we're going to take part in that glory because we're heirs with Yahushua also. So it's going to be a beautiful day, man. It's going to be a lot of destruction, blood-soaked garments. It's going to be a terrible day, man.
Some people might just be garments afterwards, man. Garments and dust.
I got precept. This is Zephaniah 3:8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. Yeah, so, the men of the Lord, the hopeful elects, Lord willing, we're of the chosen few, we're doing the work, man. We gotta wait, because at the moment we're suffering, we're being oppressed, but hey, we have to wait upon the Lord, to bring salvation, deliverance, vengeance, and he's gonna do that when he returns with the army of angels, man, on his second return.
That's what we're required to do, wait and do what the Lord tells us to do, to teach. But Most High is orchestrating all this, man. We're not bringing the nations down into the Middle East. The Lord's doing all that, man, making those moves. Okay, because the time's gonna come where they're all gonna fight there, man. Okay, they're all gonna die there. Most High is gonna destroy America. Okay, destroy these other nations, man. Okay, and those that are gonna rise up out of it are the elect and the Yahushai. That's what's gonna be. Right, so we ain't gonna worry about how that pans out. We know what the end game is, but we watch on a daily to see what moves are being made between these different nations, man. And we watch closely. So we know we report it back to you, man. Okay, but it is happening. Okay, as the scriptures say it will, man. Okay, so we ain't gonna worry about nothing, man. We're just gonna have to wait. We have to be patient. Okay, this is brothers got anything else?
Patience in the faith of the saints.
That's it. Okay, so with that we're gonna say Shalom. All praise and glory to Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rikak, Kodash, the brothers, the elders, the Apostle JMS, and the OT brothers, you sincere brothers out there, man.